My name is Olivia Thompson, and for as long as I can remember, I've been the one people could rely on. After our parents died in a tragic car crash when I was 24, everything changed. My younger brother Ethan was only 16 at the time, and overnight I became more than just his sister. I became his guardian, his mentor, and his emotional anchor. Raising him wasn't easy, but it gave my life purpose. I made a promise to myself that I'd give Ethan the kind of stability and love our parents would have wanted. Over the years, I watched him grow into a kind, intelligent, and confident young man. At 23, Ethan had just landed his first job at a prestigious architecture firm in the city, fresh out of college. Meanwhile, I was 31, working as a marketing consultant and living a quiet life in my apartment, dating on and off, but nothing serious ever seemed to last. Ethan and I stayed close. He visited often, called late at night to share his thoughts, his doubts, his dreams. Our bond was unshakable, rooted in years of shared pain and resilience. Still, I wasn't prepared for the conversation we had that rainy Saturday in April. I was curled up on the couch, sipping coffee and watching reruns of an old show, the scent of cinnamon from a candle filling the room. Rain drizzled softly against the windows, a perfect, quiet afternoon, until the doorbell rang. Surprised, I opened the door to find Ethan, soaked in rain, his hoodie clinging to him. His expression unusually serious. "Hey!" He greeted me with a tired smile. "Ethan, you didn't say you were coming. Is everything okay? I just needed to talk. In person." Of course, I let him in, handing him a towel as he shrugged off his hoodie. He looked exhausted, not just physically but emotionally. He dried his hair as he sat on the couch. "I've just had a lot on my mind," he said finally. "And I didn't know who else to talk to." I sat beside him, gently nudging. "What's going on?" He hesitated, then said, "Promise me you won't laugh. Or think it's stupid." He nodded. "I've always looked up to you, Liv. You've helped me through everything. But lately I've been feeling stuck. Not just at work or with life in general but with myself. I've never really been in a serious relationship. I go on dates but I always feel like I'm faking confidence. Panic. Freeze. I'm afraid I'll never get it right." My heart softened. He wasn't talking about romance. He was talking about identity, growth, emotional maturity. All the things young adults struggle with but rarely admit. "I guess I just wanted to hear from someone I trust," he continued. "What it really means to be vulnerable with someone, to be seen and still accepted." I took a deep breath, placing a hand on his. "Ethan, you're not behind. You're just figuring things out at your own pace. There's nothing wrong with that." We sat in silence for a while. No rush to solve everything. No pressure to pretend. That night, we didn't dive into some dramatic resolution. We just talked, really talked. About fear, about love, about the pressure to be perfect. I offered him what guidance I could, reminding him that emotional connection comes from being honest, not from fitting into anyone's expectations. Over the next few months, I saw a quiet shift in Ethan. He started trusting himself more. He began dating a thoughtful young woman named Sarah, someone who brought out his calm and confidence. One evening, she hugged me tightly and said, "Ethan told me how much you've helped him. He says you were the one who helped him find himself." I smiled, tears pricking my eyes. "He's a good man," I replied. Watching Ethan flourish reminded me of why I had taken that responsibility all those years ago. Not because I had to, but because love in its purest form is about showing up when it matters most. Years later, I stood proudly at his wedding, watching him take Sarah's hand with quiet confidence. As he looked at me during his vows, there was a flicker in his eyes, a silent message of gratitude. I didn't need words to understand it. Sometimes love doesn't look the way we expect. Sometimes it's found in showing up, in listening, in guiding, and in letting go when it's time.